So as I was saying, alcohols essentially their concentration or their effectiveness, mainly ethyl alcohol, its effectiveness will be between 60 to 90%. Okay, below 60% it will not show any appreciable antiseptic or anti-disinfectant activity, antiseptic activity specifically, and its activity will start decreasing if you give it beyond 90%. Okay, uh, beyond 90% of concentration, that its activity will decrease. Also, the side effects will increase. Okay, the main mechanism of action of ethyl alcohol is denaturation of proteins. It will denature the proteins of the pathogen. Okay, disadvantages of this ethyl alcohol is that it has very poor activity against spores. Okay, uh, disadvantage, has poor activity against spores, some viruses. Most viruses actually will not work very well against this thing. Poor activity against spores and fungi. Okay. So mainly works as a bactericidal agent. Okay, it will not work well against the other ones. It will have irritant effect on open wounds. You cannot use it on open wounds. Irritant on open wounds. Okay, if you pour alcohol on open wounds, it will burn a lot, and it is flammable. Okay, meaning whenever you apply alcohol as an antiseptic agent, you have to wait for it to evaporate before, let's suppose you are doing any sort of laser surgery or you are doing any cauterization. ठीक है, अगर cauterization या laser surgery करे without letting it evaporate, that wound will start burning. ठीक है, so be careful in that scenario. Then coming to the next type of agent, we have aldehydes. Only one drug, small description. This topic is very easy if you understand the basic mechanism of action. There'll only be a lot of drugs. They're not difficult as such, but there's just a lot. Okay. Main drug that will come in this is formaldehyde. Now we have a formalin, this thing, disinfective, this thing, what do you call, machine in our college. I'm not sure whether you've seen it or not. Fumigating machine है अपने college में. Okay, formalin के tablets लेके you put that what you call fumigating machine in that room, and you let it, one day you will make sure that the machine is working, and you leave that room for 1 or 2 days more, so that the formalin dissipates. Essentially what you are aiming to do is kill any organism that is present there. Now formaldehyde is a gas at room temperature. Okay, now you will get certain other drug forms as well. You will get formalin tablets as well, but more often than not, this drug, pure form of the drug, is a gas that is used for fumigation. Okay, you will get 40% aqueous solution of formalin as well. 40% aqueous solution of formalin, and this is a non-corrosive type of this thing, what do you call, non-corrosive type of disinfectant, and it has a very broad spectrum. It'll kill different sorts of it'll have effect on bacteria, fungi, and as well as viruses and some other pathogens if they are present. One main disadvantage of formaldehyde is if you apply it topically, it will harden the skin. Hardens skin on topical application. Okay, and it has a very pungent odor, very foul odor as well, and in certain cases it will be irritant. Okay, it can cause respiratory mucous membrane irritation, and it can cause watery eyes. It will be irritant to any mucous membrane that is present on the human, and it has carcinogenic potential. It can cause cancer. Carcinogenic. That is why whenever a room is being fumigated with formalin, that room is emptied for 1 or 2 days. Okay, because it has significant carcinogenic potential. Okay. Whenever you are using it for surgical instruments या gloves को disinfect करने के लिए भी use कर सकते हैं formaldehyde. You use it in 1:200 dilution. Okay, you dilute formalin 200 times, and that is when you use it to disinfect surgical instruments like scalpels and all, as well as your gloves. Okay. This drug is the one that will work by alkylation of proteins and nucleic acid of the organism, whichever it is working on. Okay, this is the only exception in that lot of mechanism of actions. As I told you, this is an alkylating agent. Alkylating agent. Okay. It will release alkyl group, this CH3 group, and that CH3 group will essentially end up destroying the cell wall and destroying the chemical composition of the pathogen, whichever it is going and attacking. Okay. Then coming to the next class, we have surfactants. Now, surfactants will work very similar to a detergent. Okay, they will also lower surface tension of different solutions. They are essentially detergents of a type. You will have three different types of surfactants. There can be anionic surfactants, cationic surfactants. The same way, anionic detergents भी बोल सकते हो लोगों को. Anionic, cationic, and you will have ampholytic. Okay, three different types of surfactants, all of whom will lower surface tension. There will be anionic, cationic, and ampholytic. Okay, ampholytic are sometimes also called polysorbates. So first of all, coming to anionic surfactants, these are essentially your soaps. Okay. What they will do is they will dissociate in an aqueous solution wherever you mix it in water. They will dissociate in aqueous solution and they will form a large complex anion. Okay. They will lather up and they will form a large complex anion. Form large complex anion. Okay. This large complex anion is able to lower surface tension. And essentially, because of lowering of surface tension, the pathogens that are present on your body or whichever you are washing, ठीक है, आप हाथ धो रहे, या body धो रहे, whatever you are washing, those pathogens will die essentially. Uh, and what will happen is because it is making a lather, it is essentially lathering up your water. Any microbes that are dying, they will get enmeshed into the lather. So essentially, they will get stuck into the lather and they will be washed away when you are rinsing. Okay. So what soap will do is essentially whenever you are putting soap in water or you are adding a little bit of water on soap and creating lather, first thing it will do is it will make a large complex anion. Okay. That anion has the property of lowering surface tension. And because of lather, what will happen is first you are decreasing surface tension, right? Because you are decreasing surface tension, bacteria will die, and as they are dying, now you have dead microbes that are present on your body or on your hand. Whenever you have lather being formed, okay, that jhag jisko bolte hain, that lather will essentially stick onto those microbes, and all the microbes will essentially get sucked into the lather. And whenever you are washing the lather away with water, those microbes, the dead body of the microbe, that will also get what do you call, thrown away, and they'll get washed away. The one problem with soap is that it has very narrow antimicrobial spectrum and it will precipitate in hard water. You cannot exactly use, you cannot expect soaps to work properly in hard water. Okay, it can cause dryness of skin as well. If you use soap a lot, it can cause dryness of skin. You will get sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide with vegetable oil, that as a soap. ठीक है. या फिर यू विल ऑल्सो गेट सोडियम लॉराइल सल्फेट, SLS बोल के मेंशन रहता बहुत सारे सोप्स पे, वेरी वेरी कॉमन. ठीक है, सोडियम लॉरल सल्फेट, लॉरल sulfate. If you generally go into your own pantry and look up any soap, you will find even in your this thing, आपके shampoos में भी रहता, SLS बोल के mentioned रहता. ठीक है, sodium lauryl sulfate is effective in hard water as well. That is one exception. And normally, potassium hydroxide or sodium hydroxide, that is mixed with vegetable oil, and that is how you get a soap. Okay. Salt plus any fatty substance, that will give you a soap. Sodium lauryl sulfate अगर आप use करें तो that can be used in hard water as well. This is anionic, right? Cationic will have a very similar way of acting. It is just that cations are formed. Instead of a large complex anion being formed, that will form a large complex cation. And the spectrum will be slightly different. Cationic surfactants जो है, for example, you have benzalkonium chloride. Benzalkonium chloride. ठीक है। सेट्रीमाइड भी है, सेट्रीमाइड इज यूज्ड इन Savlon, ठीक है। सेट्रीमाइड इज ऑल्सो अ कैटायोनिक सर्फेक्टेंट। यू हैव डिक्वालिनियम क्लोराइड, वो भी यूज कर सकते हैं, बेंजाल्कोनियम क्लोराइड यूज कर सकते हैं। दीज विल डिसोसिएट इन वाटर एंड मेक अ लार्ज कैटायन, large complex cation, ठीक है। Essentially those cations will be able to decrease surface tension, and it has activity against gram positive and gram negative organisms. Anionic surfactants or anionic, essentially soaps, they will only be effective against gram positive, ठीक है। एसिड फास्ट ऑर्गेनिजम्स पे काम करते हैं और ग्राम पॉजिटिव पे ही काम करते हैं। कैटायोनिक विल वर्क ऑन ग्राम पॉजिटिव एंड ग्राम नेगेटिव. It will not work very well on fungi, spores or viruses, but it will work well on gram positive and gram negative organisms, and it is non-irritating, okay? It will not cause any irritation altogether like anionic ones, right? You can do use different concentrations of benzalkonium for different purposes. आप स्किन क्लेंसिंग के लिए एक कॉन्सेंट्रेशन यूज कर सकते हैं, म्यूकस मेम्ब्रेन पे यूज करना है तो अलग कॉन्सेंट्रेशन यूज कर सकते हैं, if you're irrigating bladder or urethra you can use a different concentration. It has several functions, ठीक है। Wide usage, broad spectrum and wide usage, ठीक है। Then coming to phenol derivatives. Now, phenol is one of the oldest known antiseptics that was used. Uh, the last recorded usage of phenol was around, or at least the antiseptic usage of phenol, which was a chemical which was made, is about 1867. Okay, where phenol was, even though phenol was made earlier, its usage of antiseptic was recorded in 1867. It has very good bactericidal and fungicidal activity. Okay. Even though it has poor action on spores and viruses, it will work very well on bacteria and viruses. The main mechanism of action is denaturation of proteins. It will cause a mild anesthetic function as well. ठीक है, mild local anesthetic के वैसा भी काम करता है ये. It will rapidly penetrate into intact skin. If let's suppose you are using an antiseptic and you are applying it on skin, it will rapidly penetrate into the intact skin and mucous membrane. ठीक है, and it is a protoplasmic poison. Now, if you are swallowing it, okay, it can be extremely irritant when exposed to certain tissues. Okay, in case you are swallowing it, gastric mucous membrane से contact में आ रहा, या फिर burn से contact में आ रहा, esophageal mucous membrane से contact में आ रहा, it can cause a lot of irritation in that scenario. So use it very, very carefully. Okay, you can use it to disinfect urine and feces as well. Urine, feces, sputum, वो पूरे disinfect करने के लिए भी you can use this. You get different types of phenol derivatives. There is cresol, lysol. Lysol is pretty popular. It will have a combination of cresol and soap solution, ठीक है। Very good antiseptic activity. Hospitals में generally ये use करते हैं lysol, hospital and domestic use. You have chloroxylenol, chloroxylenol. Chloroxylenol is the chemical name for Dettol. ठीक है? You'll have a bunch of other chemicals as well, but essentially chloroxylenol is present in Dettol. Less toxic compared to chlorinated phenol, and it is effective against gram-positive and gram-negative organisms. Okay, quite popular actually. And you have chlorhexidine, another one. Chlorhexidine. Okay. This also has very, very rapid activity. It is non-irritating. Chlorhexidine. Chlorhexidine क्या करते हैं? Chlorhexidine is given with cetrimide. Cetrimide, as I told you last class में, cetrimide जो surfactant में था, cetrimide 3% is given with chlorhexidine. This combination is Savlon. ठीक है. Now coming to halogens. Halogens में one of the oldest ones and the most common ones that you see is iodine. Even though it is not used as much because of its staining property, iodine is one of the oldest known antiseptics that was used. Very, very broad spectrum. It has bactericidal, it will work on all. It will work on bacteria, spores, fungi, and viruses. So iodine is essentially a bactericidal, fungicidal, virucidal, virucidal, and sporicidal agent. Very, very, very broad activity. Okay. This activity is inhibited because of organic material. That is one disadvantage. If they are open wounds, you cannot use iodine. Organic material को अगर and whenever it comes across organic material, iodine will not work at all. Okay. And its activity can be enhanced if you are mixing it with alcohol. If you use alcohol as an antiseptic, then you use iodine, its activity will get increased. Main disadvantages will be, one, it cannot be used on organic material essentially whenever there is wound. Another problem is that if there is a wound and you use iodine on it, wound healing will be delayed. Okay, it is irritating, slightly irritating, and it'll cause a little bit pain, and it is staining. It will stain the area wherever you are using it. It'll leave brown color stains. Okay, I'm sure iodine, whenever you went to a hospital, you must have seen iodine being used, especially minor surgeries में iodine use करते हैं. ठीक है, एक छोटा swab लेके उसे clean करके iodine use करके you will see that the skin will become slightly brownish. ठीक है, that is iodine essentially. The This iodine can cause rashes, fever. It can cause allergic reaction essentially in some people, and if you are using it for a long period of time again and again in the same patient, it can cause iodism. Okay, a particular disease called iodism can be caused because you're using iodine for a prolonged period of time. Now you get different types of solutions. You get tincture iodine. uh, Tincture iodine is essentially a combination of potassium iodide and alcohol used to clean skin before surgery. You get Mendel's paint. Tonsillitis and pharyngitis में use करते हैं, या आयोडीन का ऑइंटमेंट मिलता, स्पेशली इन केस ऑफ रिंगवर्म. फंगीसाइड का वैसा यूज कर सकते हैं, फंगल इन्फेक्शन जब भी होता है पेशेंट को, इन दैट सिनारियो यू कैन यूज दिस. ठीक है, फॉर रिंगवर्म इन्फेक्शंस. All right. So that is iodides, halogen specifically. Chlorine भी use कर सकते हैं. Chlorine is also a very popular halogen, especially chlorinated lime. Bleaching powder जो है, it is used to clean swimming pools. Swimming pools, drinking water, उसमें chlorinated limes at least पहले बहुत use होता था. ठीक है. Nowadays also you will find chlorinated lime or bleaching powder being used in swimming pools. Public swimming pools में बहुत दिखता. Public or private, whatever it is. Then we have oxidizing agents. ठीक है, ऑक्सीडाइजिंग एजेंट्स में मेनली आता है हाइड्रोजन पेरोक्साइड. ठीक है, this is a colorless, odorless liquid. There'll be no color, no odor to this, and it oxidizes bacteria as well as necrotic tissue. If the patient's tissues, if there is wound and that wound has become necrosed, that necrotic tissue can also be removed using hydrogen peroxide. Generally, patients जिनको cellulitis रहता है उन लोगों के अंदर ये use करते हैं. I'm not sure whether you've seen cellulitis patients being dressed or clean, but हाइड्रोजन पेरोक्साइड यूज करते हैं इन सर्टेन सिनेरियो. दूसरे सर्जिकल वुंड्स क्लीन करना भी है तो हाइड्रोजन पेरोक्साइड यूज करते हैं कभी. इट कैन कॉज एफर्वेसेंस. ठीक है, effervescence is essentially the reaction. Acha, I'm sure you must have drunk Eno at some point of time in your life. ठीक है, Eno को initially you put it in a glass and you put a little bit of water on top, right? As soon as you put water on top, you'll see a lot of lather-like substance coming up, right? That reaction is effervescence. Whenever H2O2 is applied, it will cause the same thing. It will cause slight effervescence, and that effervescence is helpful because whenever you're applying hydrogen peroxide on a wound, because of that effervescence, tissue debris, earwax, all of that will get removed. Okay, if especially to clean wounds or to clean abscesses, for irrigation, eardrops के वैसा भी यूज कर सकते हैं to remove excessive amount of earwax. ठीक है, वो पूरे चीज़ें रिमूव करने में this fellow will be very helpful because it is causing effervescence. It will change the molecular structure of those wounds and the wax and all of that on the wound, because of which you'll be able to clear cell debris, dead cell which are lying there and creating problems. For dead cells mein, anaerobic bacteria can live and it can proliferate. So if you are able to clean that out, it will be better. Okay, you can avoid infection because of that. Then coming to the next one, dyes. Mainly one dye, gentian violet. Gentian violet. Not very commonly used because it will cause discoloration. It is effective against gram positive and fungi. Okay. Staining is the only main disadvantage of gentian violet. Because it is a dye, it will stay. It will give a very deep stain. Okay. You can use it topically. 0.5 to 1% solution of gentian violet is used for furunculosis, burns, boils, chronic ulcer पे use कर सकते हैं आप, eczema में use कर सकते हैं, thrush, ringworm. You can use it for several mycotic infections as well, fungal infections of skin and mucous membrane. Very very broad spectrum. Only problem is dyeing. Okay. It will stain the area wherever you are applying this dye. Right. Then lastly, the last class will be metallic salts. Metallic salts में आते silver compounds. Mainly one compound used very very commonly, silver nitrate. ठीक है? This is essentially an oxidizing agent. It will get reduced and it will oxidize whatever you are applying it on. ठीक है? It works as an antiseptic. It will work as a caustic agent. It will also work as a astringent. ठीक है? I'm not sure whether you've ever heard of astringents or not. Astringents are substances that will, how should I put it? They will tighten the skin and they will increase blood flow in that area wherever you are using it. Okay. So silver nitrate can act as an antiseptic. It will work as an astringent, and it has slightly caustic properties as well. They will kill microbes very very rapidly, very fast application, very fast, uh, you know, effect as well. And action is prolonged because of slow release of silver ions. So once you apply these um, uh, silver compounds like silver nitrate, their effect will be very very long. Okay, because silver ions are being released very very slowly, the action is quite prolonged. The only problem is that it will cause staining. It will cause black stains. As silver nitrate gets reduced, see, silver nitrate is oxidizing those bacteria, so it is getting reduced. All right. It will essentially remove the hydrogen, or it will remove the protons from the bacteria or wherever it is working, and it will in turn take those protons. Essentially what will happen is whenever it is getting reduced, it gets deposited, and ultimately it will cause black stains. Yeah, that is the biggest disadvantage of using silver compounds. Okay. So that is about antiseptics and disinfectants. That included all antiseptics and disinfectants. Now if you get this, you might get it as a long answer, or you might get it as a, rather than a long answer, I would say this will come as a 7 or 8 mark answer, because there's not a lot of description in individual drugs itself. Very very small. Mechanism of action is also one liner, not very complex as such. वो 4 main mechanism या 5 main mechanisms of action पहले mention कर दिए, तो all of this will only become where they are used, what concentration is being used. That's it. ठीक है? PKPD उतना डिस्कस नहीं करते. Very rarely adverse effects are also, if there are very prominent, only then adverse effects are discussed with respect to antiseptics and disinfectants. Otherwise it's a very straightforward chapter. ठीक है? A lot of memorization though, same as usual. ठीक है? In the next class we'll start with immunopharmacology. Right. Before starting immunopharmacology, I would suggest that you read about immunity once. For tomorrow's class of pharmacology, read what are T cells, what are B cells, what are their functions, what are their types. ठीक है? एक बार वो पढ़ो तो it will become easy to understand immunopharmacology.